Hello guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to discuss about my interview experience at Cisco. So it is the first company to visit our campus for recruitment, and it's my dream company too. That is because I love networks a lot, and we also know that Cisco is the giant in the networking industry. And apart from that, it is ranked as a number one in the world's best workplaces. So in this video I'm going to discuss about my experiences at each round, starting from screening round to HR round, and I will also share some tips at the end that could help you for upcoming drives too. So I already wrote an article about it in GFG, explaining about my interview experience and all the process, but it will take some time to publish that, and I'm using same article here. I will update the link in the Telegram channel for that GFG experience once it got published. So for Telegram channel link you can just see in my description. Yeah, you can refer that GFG article for more clarity. Today I'm going to give you an abstract idea about the interview process and all. So let's get into it. So the round one, the CGPA cutoff for the round one is around 7 GPA, and no backlogs. So out of probably more than 400 people attended that test that is conducted in HackerRank. As you can see, there are 26 questions in total. One is coding question, and 25 are MCQs. So MCQs is there is no negative marking, and coding question you can see it's you can just pause the video and see the question I just mentioned here. It's very easy question, but I think you have to optimize it to get selected for further rounds. So for me, I was confidently answered the 15 MCQ questions, and the coding question I just gave a very optimized solution for it. So after out of the 400 people, 81 people got shortlisted for the second round, which is technical, and it's a face-to-face interview, and all the interviews happened the next day. It happened in WebEx, which is Cisco's platform. So let's get into round two. So round is technical interview. The interview just started with like a formal introduction about myself, and the interviewers are very friendly. Like they can't be so nicer than that. So they always give me freedom for expressing myself, so that they will be able to see my best. So mine, as I said, mine started with a formal introduction, and the interview was very friendly. It was very interactive. It's like when I said, "Sir, I hail from this particular particular place," he then asked me about that particular place. It's not like I keep on reading my introduction and then he will just definitely put questions on me. It's not like that. It's a very interactive experience with the interviewer. So the first question they asked me was like, I didn't mention networks in my technical skills. So they just pointed out that why didn't you put that in your resume, because if you know that you are attending a networks company. So I was able to give some satisfactory answer for him, and apart from that, and then he then suddenly jumped into my networks knowledge. So he just asked me to rate, and then he just asked me to explain what are things I know about the networks. So which I did within 3 minutes. I just gave a talk about all the and basic introduction about all these things, what all the things I know about the networks. So the introduction started with this IS1 TCP/IP stack, and then he asked about ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, and its applications, which is traceroute and ping, and then he just went into the traceroute, and that very deep question into traceroute and the gateway protocols, asynchronous systems, DNS, session layers, encryptions, keys, DHCP servers, and more questions related to DHCP, static and dynamic IP, and IPv4 to IPv6 transition, difference between IPv4 and IPv6, MAC protocols, address resolution protocols, routers, and very basic questions related to networks. I was able to answer each and every question. After that, he then went to scenario questions. Like he then asked me, when you are troubleshooting steps when the requested page is not displaying. So I just gave a satisfactory answer for him. I think he was satisfied with the answer. After that, he went on to asking about TTL, that is time to live, and its applications, where all it is used in networks. And I think I also remember he asked me about TCP control, flow control, difference between flow control and congestion control mechanisms. So I was mentioning about DNS about in the troubleshooting. So he then went on to DNS. He just asked me to what are the did you agree whether DNS is the heart of the internet? So I said yes. So he then asked me about the security issues with DNS. I said DNS cache poisoning. So he then asked me what all things you do to secure the cache, so those kind of things, and few more questions like why Cisco, why do you want to get into networks company, and all these things like that, and related to my how basic question. So around this interview went around 45 minutes. Yeah, I was able to answer 95%, probably 98% of the questions I was able to answer, and the interview seemed to be very happy with my performance. I know that I am going to select for the further rounds. So and he was very friendly, like some things regarding traceroute I don't know in detail. So then he just explained me about traceroute at the end, and also gave me resources to refer it more. So you see that friendly they are. And coming to round 3, it was managerial round. It was taken by team manager itself in the Cisco. He said that he is leading the team of 22. So the thing started with formal introduction, and this is where my projects was discussed. In previous round, all the 45 minutes the discussion went around the networks only, nothing apart from that. And in previous round I was stressing about my projects, my Java knowledge and object oriented programming, but interviewer doesn't seem to be care about it. And there was a question, there I mentioned MySQL in my technical skills. Even then he was asking me to link that how that MySQL is linked to networks, and which layer you implement MySQL. All these kind of questions, in every way there's a relating to networks itself at the end. So the project discussion, and he just asked me to start how did you get that idea, and from the starting to end what kind of applications you have. So I just explained him everything about it, like that technologies I've used, the problems I faced, how did I overcome, and what kind of things I have learned, what kind of it's the applications of it. And I just spoke about my project for around 6 minutes. He seems to be very happy about it. And then he suddenly jumped into link layer and network layer, difference between them, switch versus router, which is very important question. And he just asked me which is smart, and asked me to give an explanation about it. And I just mentioned this, the routing and forwarding tables. He just asked me what is link state and distance vector algorithms. So which we use Dijkstra's algorithm in link state algorithm. And he asked me about Dijkstra's algorithm, time complexity, and that deviated to asset oriented systems and border gateway protocol, which helps us to connect between two asynchronous systems. So after that, next question was on searching algorithm. This was the only question that I got apart from the networks. Like you are given an array, you give me a best algorithm, to search the key. So I straightly said that it's a binary search with the time complexity of log n. So he then went on to explaining about the role and the requirements, the challenges that are faced in the round, and he explained me little about that particular role that I was applied for. After that, he asked me to convince me that I am capable of, I am a good fit for that particular role, which I did, and he was very happy with my answer. At the end, he asked me two scenario based questions. Another, I didn't remember another thing. The question was, one question was to troubleshoot when when your computer display is not working. At the end, he asked me about teamwork related HR questions and few more common HR questions. You will see, right, to your strengths, you have this problem, how can you overcome, all these kind of questions. At the end, why Cisco, why this particular role. So this is why this particular role was the very tricky question. I was attending for one particular role. At the end, in the beginning, he told that my coding profile was very good, and he wanted me to transfer to another role. So I just explained him why I feel a good fit for this particular role. Whereas some of my friends wanted to change, they did change, but another rounds they grilled them so much that they couldn't able to clear that particular roles interview. So you should be very careful while applying for the role you are wanted to take up. So you should do some some research before applying for that particular role. That's it. At the end, I was after, I think the next day itself all interviews are concluded. My interview, first round happened at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, and after I think 2 hours at 11 o'clock I was informed about this managerial round. So immediately after I had my lunch, I think after 1:30 I was called for HR round. So HR round was I think I just flung it everywhere. Yes. sorry, I think I just forget to mention that HR round here. So let me go through that HR round. I think that slides are missing here. So HR round was very it's very simple actually. It lasted for just 20 minutes. HR round just lasted for 20 minutes. HR interview. The first question was basically introduce about myself, my extracurricular activities, and the end project. She asked me to explain the project, that is a machine learning project that I did, and then asked me to tell the two things. One is technical and non-technical thing that I've learned from that project, and that's all. And one more network question, which is very simple. I was able to answer it. Then he then and why Cisco and why this particular role. These are a few questions that concluded in 15 minutes. At the end, the last 5 minutes, we were discussing about the role, the challenges, and the CTC, and different components of the CTC, and different breakups, bonuses, perks, relocation, all kind of bonuses that I get, health insurances, health benefits, and all. She was discussing about it, and at the end, she asked me any questions. I just interacted with her for a few more minutes. All those things concluded within 25 minutes. So yeah, after that my interview concluded in 2:30. By 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, my interview got completed, even HR. But there are people who are attending different kind of interviews. So the interview lasted till 7:30. So after that, they informed the result to our campus recruitment team, the department, my campus department. So result were announced at 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. In the same day. So 12 a.m. in the same day. So I got selected and I was finalized for the role. So these are some tips I just wanted to give you guys. That is, be confident. They were like, they know that nobody knows everything about particular subject, whatever it is. They know about it, and they will not expect you to be the geeks in the technical stuff. So you should be, your basics should be very great. You should concentrate on your basics and should not mug anything. So you can see that I just put my experience there, like you can see all the kind of network questions. So I just gave that, but the questions were not exactly like that. They would give you very indirect way, so that they will know whether you are able to understand it or you have mugged it. They will able to find it. They are very good at judging you. So and you can see there was a question, what is difference between switch and router. That can be done, but which is smart? It's very intelligent question. You have to answer it really quick. You have to know the functionalities of switch and router, which which layer they are used, what are the rules of doing it, and structure of router and structure of link. You have to you should know all these things before answering that question. So all these questions are like that only, very indirect, not very direct. So you should be really great at your basics, and no need to be very geek at any subject. Even networks, they are not caring if you are CCNA certificated or not. You should have your basics covered, that is, and should not bluff anything. For example, there are some questions, a few questions that I couldn't answer. I just took some time to think if I can come up with a solution. If not, I just told the interviewer, sir, I am not able to recall. So he was like, okay, fine, good. That's all he told. You should not bluff anything if you don't know anything about that particular question. And the most important thing is, if there are any new question, if there is any familiar questions, you can just directly answer it. Like say about what is linked list. You can just out of the blue you can just answer that question. That's not that's easy. But if there are something, the questions which you don't know, which you feel very new, you have to take some time and think and answer. It's not like you just straight away give the answer and then try to make your statement stay in itself. You take some time, and then only you have to frame the answer in your mind and then deliver it. Before taking that time, inform the interviewer that, sir, please give me some 30 seconds or 1 minute, I will able to come up with the solution. So that's how you have to be. And the most important deciding factor is communication skills. This is where all the people neglect this. So if you look at any international companies, for example Cisco, it will be Cisco, Intuit, or it's Amazon or Google. So they have very good clients, and these are product based companies, and also they have very good you have to interact with people from different parts of the world. So your communication has to be really great. So yeah, you have to, it's not like your English has to be that great. I'm not saying that your English has to be geek, but your communication skills, the way you interact with the interviewer, the way you present yourself, so that's what communication skills I mean. So that's it about this interview. And there are some people who are technically, intelligent, but couldn't clear this HR rounds and got failed in manager rounds. So that's it I want to tell. And another thing is, don't expect Cisco to take you even if you clear the HR round. That happens every in our campus. Like, they just clear this year 30 people cleared this HR round, but only 20 people were offered the role. So they are very selective. I have to be really careful about it. And coming to my overall interview experience, it was really good. I was able to answer 95% of the questions with confidence, and I presented myself very nicely, and I was able to present myself very formally. And that's one thing. And second thing is, it's a virtual thing, so nobody cares whether you come in a t-shirt or whether you have cozy age style. They don't care actually, but they might not be a deciding factor. But I recommend you to attend the interviews very formally, because that have nice haircut, or a clean shave for your boys, and if you're a boy, have a clean shave, or maintain little beard. That is because it shows some sort of seriousness towards the interview. Will get to know how serious are you about that particular role. So that could give some sort of impression about you. So I'm not saying it going to be deciding factor at the end. If you go in your t-shirts, or you have color hairstyle, that's the Cisco's motive actually. So whatever you have, you can be your true self. But this might just advice for you if you want to attend not only Cisco, any interview. So that's it about this video. I hope I was able to explain or clear your doubts to some extent at least. So not only Cisco, there are some other really good companies apart from Cisco, that is Arista, and also there you can just use this experience for cracking that companies too. Yeah, and one more thing is, one more small announcement I want to tell you guys is, I think tomorrow or so I will start with the DSA playlist. I will start with linked list, the topmost linked list questions, and then we will start with trees, graphs, and that's how we proceed. And another thing is, I'm not going to continue this channel forever. My motive is to help people from tier 3 colleges who are attending for off-campus placements where the competition is very high. So this channel is aimed at helping people from that background only. And I'm not going to continue this channel after 6 months. After that I will have some other work, so I'm not going to continue this, because in January I have to join the internship. So only this channel is going to be only 6 months, and that's all. I will try to not to monetize this channel also, so that you will have ad-free experience in these videos. But I think I've read some the YouTube guidelines where it forcefully puts the ads irrespective of monetization. So I will consider all these factors before including that. So that's it guys. If you have any doubts, you can just comment in this. I will try to read the comments or enable the comment box. That's it. If you have any queries, you can just put that queries in Telegram group. I will try to answer. I am not sure whether I will be able to answer audio queries or not. So that's it. All the best for your placements. Thank you.